Still to come right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Did you hear Donald Trump's comments on a, quote, bloodbath if he's not reelected? I've got several thoughts on that matter, plus calls, tweets, and then some up next. It's the Stephen A. Smith Show. Don't go anywhere.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Real Talk with Darius, and I want y'all to know I love you. Yes, I just love you because the Creator made each and every one of us unique and special. So I hope you have a great day or a great night whenever you're watching this video. Now, we're about to listen to Stephen A. To me, seemingly, as of late, has seemed what you might call awakened, red-pilled, whatever term you want to use. Why? Because he's actually looking at the evidence that his eyes is showing him or is being displayed before his eyes and listening with his own ears. Things are not the way they should be. So let's get into this and see what Stephen A. has to say. Also, remember to like, subscribe, comment, share this video. Please share this video with someone that you care about if you value or like this content that we have here. And come on, become a part of the Real Talk community. And let's have some fun.
I want to take a moment to get into a little politics because there was a website called The Spun that released an article about me. And it was entitled, quote, Stephen A. accuses the media of being unfair to Donald Trump. The subject of the article was a post, essentially one that I tagged to a video that was released by Elon Musk on a speech that Trump was giving the other day. And when I responded and tagged Elon Musk's video, here is what I said. Based purely on this video, if it is accurate, then it would be true. It seems real Donald Trump's words were taken out of context. Reading the headlines, I've read, fair is fair. I posted this in response to the owner of Tesla and X, the one and only Elon Musk himself, saying, quote, legacy media lies, end quote, in a post highlighting media criticism of Trump's speech. That was in reference to Trump's comment Saturday at an auto industry rally in Dayton, Ohio, y'all. An auto industry rally in Dayton, Ohio. One thing Trump did say was this. Listen for yourself.
China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line. And you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
What did I do? The fact of the matter.
Now, y'all see that? Now, if you've been paying attention to the news, you have seen certain media outlets on the left parrot those words, take them out of context, and feed it to their viewers. Listen, let me ask y'all this question. In the comments, will you please type in the word context? Say it with me. Context. We need context. That's one of the things, most conversations these days, even privately, personally, how many times have you been lied on? How many times have people taken your words out of context? See, sometimes we have to make these situations personal so that we can have a different perspective. But as long as it's okay that it happens to so-and-so because you don't like him, you're going to be okay with it. You're going to say, oh, that's no big deal. He always talk like this. She always talk and act like that. That is not true. Somebody told you and showed you clips or articles, taking sentences out of their contextual setting, which means you do not get the full or whole or complete meaning. You should be, listen, I don't know about you, but my intelligence is insulted when someone wants to shape a narrative for me, especially thinking they're thinking for me when they ain't thinking nothing like me. You understand what I'm saying? So look for truth, not your truth, not their truth, the truth.
There is, when you watch the headlines talking about Donald Trump, they were mischaracterizing his comments. Yes, he said what he said, but it was taken completely out of context because he was talking about the auto industry.
See, do y'all see that? I like this. This is what causes a person like me to have respect for people like Stephen A. Now, I like a number of things Stephen A says and some of the things he does, his philanthropy, the things he tries to do for the, or does do for the black community, et cetera, et cetera. But these type of conversations, I know he don't like Trump. I wish he would actually sit down and do some more homework on the guy, really look at what his policies was, the things he did do, and definitely contrast that to compare to Trump's term compared to the current term. But I have greater respect for Stephen A. for being willing to talk to his party or maybe he won't call it his party, but the people that he to some degree stand with. I have greater respect for Stephen A. for stepping up, saying, "Listen, I'm not going to think. Well, I don't have a herd mentality." That's what he's doing. He's showing he does not have a herd mentality.
And business with China. And how if he's not elected, it's going to be problematic in terms of doing business with China as it pertains to the auto industry. I don't take it back. I ain't backing up 1 inch. What the hell is going on here? Let me tell y'all something. I'm really getting sick and tired of people mischaracterizing my quotes. This is the beauty of having my own platform and saying what I want to say and what I need to say, only for this perspective of quoting me accurately and contextualizing what I say accurately. Then do what you want.
Right.
But any given time that I want to, when you mischaracterize what I say, I'm going to come back at you. That's what I'm going to do. Let me be very, very clear. For all of you Democrats out there that swear up and down, I'm some damn Trump supporter because I call it like I said. I didn't vote for Trump in 2016. I didn't vote for Trump in 2020, and I damn sure ain't going to vote for him in 2024.
And that's his choice.
And if you really, really
just don't complain like a lot of people are discovering now, their choice is really leading this country down a terrible, terrible path.
Want my history, let me take it a step further. I voted for Michael Dukakis versus H.W. Bush. Even when he tried to hoodwink everybody and use those Willie Horton ads that ultimately worked for him. I voted for Bill Clinton, not once, but twice. I voted for Al Gore. That's the first time I heard about, what is it, leaning chads at the voting booth? Hanging chads, rather. I don't know this stuff, but I voted for Al Gore. Yes, I did. I voted for John Kerry. Yes, I did. And you damn right I voted for Barack Obama, not once, but twice. And I voted for Hillary Clinton. And I voted for Joe Biden, despite the crime bill leading to mass incarceration for minorities in this country. Although it wasn't entirely his fault because you had the Congressional Black Caucus pushing him to do it. But he bragged about how it was his bill until it wasn't politically expedient for him to do so. I've been voting for Democrats, but hey, I'm a fair-minded individual. And when Republicans make sense, I'm going to give them credit for it.
Now, when he says when Republicans make sense, first of all, I am not a straight up Republican. I'm a truther. I vote based on my conscience. I'm a kingdom of heaven citizen first and foremost. So I vote my values based on what I believe God says about things. Okay. And so I'm not going to find none of these candidates. None of them are perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I wish somebody was closer. I hate to have to choose between the lesser of two evils. That's a terrible selection of options that we have. But anybody sitting on the sidelines, a lot of good people will not be selected, or what we might call good, or won't be selected because the powers that be, who has the money bags, those who control the media, will shut that stuff down. They're not looking for people who have godly character, good morals. Okay. Anyway, we all have choices to make, and our choices are affecting each and every one of us. If you choose to vote, it's going to have an effect. If you choose not to vote, it's going to have an effect. If you vote for the wrong candidate, if you don't have enough information and you have time to get that information and you don't do so, that's on you. I've made those mistakes too. Don't misunderstand me. So I'm talking about me too. We have to hold ourselves accountable in order to properly, if you will, or correctly hold those in power accountable as well.
When they're right about something, I'm going to give them credit for it. There's plenty of Republicans other than Trump that I would have voted for, and I wouldn't have apologized for it because I don't happen to disagree with every conservative policy. But just so we're clear, I'm a fiscal conservative and I am a social liberal, unapologetic about it. What does that have to do with y'all not telling the truth?
Real talk.
See, at the end of the day, let's just call it what it is. Trump is handing it to y'all.
Tell the truth.
All you Democrats out there are walking around acting like it's somebody else's fault that in the year 2024, you're begging a soon-to-be 82-year-old incumbent to run for re-election and win for you because you haven't had a damn soul that can take them. 4 indictments, 91 counts, 2 impeachments, civil suits against them, elevating above $400 million.
Now, just because there are people who are going to be watching this video, you might even know somebody who was falsely accused, but at the time when they were in court, all the evidence seemingly stacked against them. They probably had poor representation, or they just did not have enough information or enough evidence to back up their case. Listen, I don't give a care whether or not you like Donald Trump or Joe Biden or any of these candidates or presidents. Or presidents. All my biggest thing is, one of the reasons why I started this channel was this. I'm all about real talk, real conversation about the real truth. Not your truth, not my truth, but the truth. Now, if our truths line up with the truth, then of course it's the truth. So I agree with Stephen A on this. I'm going to hold people accountable. Now, you have to look into what a liberal is and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, we got to look for truth, people. This is why the world is going in the way it is. It's because evil has been allowed and been and was given the opportunity to simply exist unhindered. People whine, people complain, people talk about how bad the Republicans are, how bad the Democrats are, how bad the progressives are, how bad the liberals are. But what are you doing? Then some people get disenchanted, or not disenchanted, but people feel like their votes don't count, so they decide not to vote. Because, hey, it's not going to make a difference. You will be held accountable. Whether you believe it or not, the time is coming when all of us are going to be held accountable for the decisions we make. Whether or not we did what we were supposed to do. Do your job, or do your part. Isn't that what Bill Belichick, the former football coach, said of the Patriots? Do your job. We all have a job to do. Let us be honest. Let us be clear. Let us be truthful in our pursuits. I'm with Stephen A on that part. I don't agree with a lot of the other stuff he's saying, but I do agree with him on that part.
And he is whipping ass. That is a fact. He secured the GOP nomination. You got him ahead in all the polls as we speak. You got him elevated according to the polls in the world of Hispanics and blacks more so than ever before. Not to say that those numbers are going to be exorbitant, but it'll be just enough to get him reelected. And because I'm sitting here and pointing out to you that you're getting in your own way by trying to fabricate or embellish stories in such a fashion where you can easily get caught, exposed for your miscalculations or your flat out lies, and something that he is going to use to his advantage to get reelected. I'm wrong. I'm wrong because I'm calling out how you don't know how to beat them.
Now, they know how to beat them, but there's too many cameras right now. There's too many eyes right now. Even if you beat a person by stealing or by misinformation, by information control, you can beat a person. But there are a lot of eyes on this whole process right now. That's what's very interesting to me. Listen, let your conscience help you out, not your emotions. Please, especially black people, stop being so emotional. Be rational, be logical, think. Come on, people, y'all are very intelligent. All of us are. And I'm not being condescending when I say that, so please don't take it that way. I'm saying let us think. Let's think. Let's observe. Let's call right, right, and wrong, wrong. If Trump is guilty, for example, let's use this since this what this conversation is about. If the man is guilty, I mean truly guilty. I'm not talking about you can have all kinds of counts against you. Some of you know what it's like to be falsely accused. If you know about that, please. I don't know if you can hide your stay anonymous or not, but if you can, put something down in the comments. You ain't gotta get all personal. Just say yes. I know what it's like to be falsely accused. Forget the face. Take the personality out of it. My question to you is: have you ever been falsely accused? Leave into the comments have that whether or not yes or no. I have been falsely accused.
That's the problem. I'm no political aficionado. But I've been on the record saying I'd love to go against Trump in a debate.
Yeah, you said it.
You know how embarrassing that is that I could say that? Because he beat y'all. You can't beat him. You can't beat him. You're trying everything. You're engaging in lawfare. You keep coming up with stuff. It's Russian collusion 1 minute. It's civil cases the next. We got a district attorney in the state of New York going after him for paying hush money to a former porn star. You really think that's going to stop him from getting reelected? You've got tens of millions of people who are already on the record saying they would vote for him if he were a convicted felon and put in a zebra suit and behind bars. And the best you can do is say Stephen A. Smith is supporting him. Is coming to his defense. That's the best you can do because I'm pointing out how something's not going to work. Newsflash. He is taking it to y'all in such a way that it's become a bit embarrassing. It's that simple. Not only is he taking out DeSantis and Nikki Haley and Chris Christie and Vivek Ramaswamy, he's also taking out President Biden before our very eyes. The momentum keeps dissipating. I'm not happy about that because I believe that a Trump presidency could potentially cause civil war in this country. That's my personal belief.
Now, I hear what Stephen A. is saying and where he's about to go. The question is why was civil war started in this country? I mean, after all, see, this is one of the biggest problems. Remember earlier we was talking about context? See, there's a whole lot more to this story than most of y'all probably don't realize, okay? No, I'm not Mr. Know-It-All. I have just done some research, okay? There's a lot more going on. But my concern is also with the Civil War potential. This is what is, what about the talks about World War III going on right now? Didn't they say, yes, I think Stephen A. probably was in that group. I don't know if he said it, but he certainly believed what he was told by a lot of those people on that other side of the aisle, that Trump would be the one to lead us into World War III. So under a Trump presidency, we had 4 years of peace. He spoke to the North Korean president after 25 years of silence between our presidents and the North Korean leader. And yet Trump was the only one, and not even Obama, not even Clinton, in a 25-year period, spoke with that president. But Trump is the one who's the warmonger. You find out more stuff about Ukraine, but Trump is the one who, again, I'm not a Trump apologist. I'm a truther. If I'm wrong about my stance, I'll come right back on in and I'll say it. I'm man enough to do that. Because I'm about the truth. Even if it means telling the truth about myself. I'm not going to sit here and let nobody feed me lies. And I'm not going to, and then I find out it's a lie if I don't recognize it at first. and call it out. So all I'm asking is for you to be objective. Those of you who are willing, because all of us can be objective, but the question is how many of us are willing to look at things as they are and not the way we want to see them.
Based on his behavior, because I believe he will be on a vengeance tour. And he won't be governing, he'll be exacting revenge.
Okay, wait, Stephen A. Look around. You say you talked about the cases, right, Stephen? Show me, let me ask you a question. What's going on against Trump? What would you call that? Now, I know, yeah, Trump is guilty. Ask yourself this question. Just ask this simple question. Some of the premier law enforcement agencies have been investigating Trump since his announcement in 2015 for presidency. And it's 2024, and they still going after him. Are you telling me that this man is so slick clean that they couldn't find anything on him? And it was certainly wasn't for lack of trying. You just mentioned they came up with Russiagate, then they coming up with these civil cases. So, Stephen A., are you saying that the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Justice, the Homeland Security are all inept? That this corrupt media are all inept at their jobs? That in going on 9 years of investigation, they can't find anything that truly stick on Trump? And yet we're seeing a boomerang effect. Everything they said was going to happen to Trump, I'm seeing it happen to them. They said Trump and his family were colluding with Russia. Come to find out, the current resident or president in office is him and his family. They said he took money from Russia and China, and yet we're coming to find out that the current president is. There's evidence to suggest he is doing this. Not just hearsay, not just chatter, not just accusations, but actually evidence, okay? They said he was going to start the wars. They said he's the racist president. And yet I can show you footage, if YouTube don't take it down. I can show you evidence of Joe Biden's racism. His own mouth. But I still yet to see any on Trump. So, is that what you're saying, Stephen A., that these law enforcement agencies are all inept at their jobs? And in almost 10 years, basically, they could not, after all these investigations, they cannot find anything to truly stick. Or he has this. And she says he raped her. Really? Isn't that interesting? She can't remember a number of things. And then she comes out and she talks very, very weird. There's evidence on her. I mean, I find it interesting.
Instead of being presidential and being the leader of the free world for all of America. That's my belief. But that does not mean I'm not going to point out when you're doing something that's to your detriment that is not going to lead to beating him. The truth is the truth. He's smoking the Dems right now.
It's a lot more truth out there, too.
He smoked every GOP rival they could find. He looks like he is destined for the White House. All Stephen A. is sitting here saying, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Because right now, he's giving it to y'all. It's worse than what LeBron James and Steph Curry do to opponents. Or what Patrick Mahomes just did to a bunch of people. Trump is doing that to the Dems. Because in the year 2024, the liberal side of our political stratosphere, the ones whom some are called progressives, are relying on an 82-year-old to come save the day. And I'm saying, what if the momentum continues to show this? Y'all just gonna stand there and let Biden fall? Y'all ain't gonna do anything? Y'all ain't gonna get Kamala Harris in as your nominee? You ain't gonna get Gavin Newsom in as your nominee? You ain't gonna get somebody else in as your nominee? Do something. Anything. If it was anybody else in any other profession, y'all would say, try something. Anything. Y'all just standing still. Again, getting your ass kicked. You want to accuse Stephen A of saying something? Accuse me of that. I dare anybody to deny it based on what we've been seeing.
This is the
Listen, I find this very interesting. I'll tell you what, I've said my piece. I could stretch it out some more, but I'm not going to do that. I'm very interested to hear what y'all have to say. Is Stephen A right? And who do you think would replace Biden? Michelle Obama's already said no, emphatically no. So who do you think may replace Biden in his 2024 presidential run? Remember again to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, share this channel. I appreciate y'all for joining me. I'm looking to get to my first 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate you guys taking out of your time to join me here and make me a part of your lives. God bless you, and remember, I love you. See you later.